Promised, we're going to talk about Hindustan Oil Exploration. It was a good performance from HOEC in Q4. The profit after tax and EBITDA jumped quite a bit, actually. P Elango, the managing director of HOEC, joins in now to talk about that. Mr. Elango, thanks a lot for joining in. It was a very good quarter. I want to understand 80% of your volumes comes from gas and the rest of it comes from oil. So what led to the quarter-on-quarter improvement in Q4? And can you help us with the exact realizations that you saw in both these segments, gas and oil? And what is the expectation as we move along?
Yeah, this is the first quarter in which we had our flagship project B80 producing from both oil and gas wells continuously. That's why you have the numbers before you. This is an indication that going forward, we'll be delivering similar kind of numbers quarter after quarter. Now that the flagship project in Western Offshore B80 is on production mode. In terms of gas oil mix as such, you're right, we've got about 80% of realization through gas and about 20% from oil. Going forward, this will kind of shift more towards oil. We're expecting at least about 70% from gas and about 30% from oil going forward. The gas prices have also been very good. In Assam, we're realizing a gas price of about $8.2 per mmBtu. And at B80, the realized gas price during last quarter was around, last year was about $15. For whatever gas we produce from B80 offshore, the gas is sold in Gujarat gas market through ONGC pipeline system. We have received excellent support from ONGC and are able to tap the premium gas market in Gujarat.
Right. So just to clarify, this APM gas pricing of $6.50 per mmBtu does not impact you, right?
Yes. That is only for PSUs like Oil India and ONGC.
Right.
We are exempt from that cap.
So that's good. You will continue to realize upwards of that amount as well, like you said, around $8.2. But on B80 itself, you've been talking a lot about that. The conversations that we've had on multiple platforms also have been long going. Just wanted to understand what currently is the production of both oil and gas in B80 right now, and what is the peak production? What is your revenue share at peak production likely to be? What are we at right now?
Okay, just to give you a bit of a background, B80 is the first DSF discovered small field in Western Offshore that came into auctioning sometime in 2017 by the government. And B80 is the first offshore field under DSF policy to come on to commercial production last year. We initially started with gas well and started with about 10 million cubic feet of gas per day. 10 million cubic feet is equivalent to about 10,000 mmBtu per day. And subsequently, we brought the oil well also into production. And oil, whatever oil we produce, we transport it and store it in our floating storage vessel, which is parked near our field. That vessel has got about 900,000 barrels of capacity. We are on an average producing about 1,400 barrels per day now. And whatever oil that we produce, we store it in that FSO. The gas, whatever gas we produce, which is, we have increased the production last quarter to about 17 million cubic feet per day. 17 million cubic feet is about 17,000 mmBtu. As I told you that gas price is to be discovered through e-auction. We had so far conducted 2 e-auction. In the first e-auction, GSPC was a successful bidder and they took about 10 million cubic feet of gas per day, that is 10,000 mmBtu. Then secondly, we did a second e-auction in which IOC emerged as a winner. They are taking about 8,000 odd mmBtu. So totally we are producing and selling about 17,000. This production, whatever gas we produce in Bombay High, obviously, we don't have our own pipeline to the shore. We use the ONGC pipeline system to transport the gas to Hazira network. And from there, the buyers book the capacity and take the gas. So essentially, I would like to take this opportunity to thank ONGC for their excellent support, without which we would not have been able to monitor.
Mr. Elango, got that. Can you, we are running out of time, so just want to get a quick couple of details from you. Can you tell us what exactly is the capacity expansion plan that you have in FY24 and how do you plan to fund that?
Yeah, we right now, last 4 years, we've been really focusing on developing this field. We have invested close to $100 million of HOEC fund in this field. We have a 60% stake in the block. Our effort during this year is for the next couple of quarters to consolidate and sustain the production in a safe manner, particularly during the monsoon period. And our next target is to, whatever oil that we have stored, to sell that oil through a e-auction, for which we should be going for a e-tender in the next month or so. Our plan current year is to really consolidate B80. We've got plans to increase production from Dirok field that we will synchronize along with the Northeast gas grid connectivity established once it is established. Right now we have additional capacity to produce from Dirok, but the market is unable to offtake the full gas volume as far as Northeast is concerned. And B80 will increase production marginally. Yes.
Yeah, you were talking about oil in B80 and you said that you are doing about 1,400 barrels per day. But I remember us having this conversation where you said that the peak capacity could be close to around 8,000 barrels per day as well, and of which your share would be 60%. Just wanted to understand by when do you go there, and with all the adjustments, what is your revenue potential here?
So 8,000 is 8,000 barrel of oil equivalent.
Yes.
Right? So right now we are doing about 4,000 barrels of oil equivalent if you put both oil and gas together. And we expect to move it by about 1,000 barrels of oil equivalent over the next 6 to 9 months period.
Okay, and your share still at 60% of that, right? So
Yes.
it'll be 3,000 barrels of oil equivalent. And your PY1, that has a realized price of close to $3.7 per mmBtu. Is there a possibility of this increasing further?
Yes. The PSC, the production sharing contract for PY1 has been now extended for another 10 years. Under the extended term, we will go for an e-auction to realize better market price for PY1. And before that, we wish to drill a well in PY1, for which we are doing the initial preparatory work. We will perhaps do it by Q4 of this year or most likely Q1 of next financial year to drill a well in PY1, and that gas will be sold at a premium price through e-auction as per the government.
Okay, all right. Mr. Elango, thanks a lot for joining in and speaking to CNBC TV18. Let's take a quick break, but as we do that, here's